Hello, and welcome from me, my egret pals in the background, and whoever's making that hammering noise. Anyways, welcome back, and today we're going to be taking a road trip to another first-time city that we've never explored before, this being Jacksonville, Florida, which is a few hours north, so we don't get there all that often. So we mainly wanted to do basically sort of a sweep by through the city, one day's worth of exploring a lot of notable places that we wanted to see. So we'll go stop by stop, and we're going to show you a very interesting coffee shop that gives lots of advantages to special individuals, as well as checking out a cemetery with a special headstone marker for the final resting place for a pivotal figure from the 1980s, and very scary moment from my childhood, which I'm sure you might recognize if you're a fan of the film in question. We're also going to check out Chamblin's Bookmine, a massive bookstore that honestly, for like the half hour we were there, I don't think we saw the whole thing. It just kept going and going. But I love it. I love opportunities for other people to get a chance to read and discover new books. There's also going to be a few other things, including a couple of abandoned locations that I don't have the opportunity to enter, but I like to kind of scope out from the outside and just kind of observe the remains of what once was, and just kind of see the history of the buildings, and the fact that they're still there is interesting, still standing. And then we cap it off with a trip to a very neat little roadside marker, a little roadside artwork, a cool gator statue that was salvaged from a attraction that closed in the 1980s a little further down to St. Augustine and relocated to Jacksonville. So I'm all for the preservation of art, especially when it's silly, quirky stuff like what we'll show you today. So come along with us. Let's go check out some of the neat sights in Jacksonville and see what's awaits in this beautiful city. Let's go. Guys, very first time ever in Jacksonville, St. Mark's Square Fountain. Why lions? These lions are representative of St. Mark, patron saint of the Venetian Empire, who's been honored here. What lions? These lions. Look at these guys. Aren't they cool? Gorgeous. Big guys. Got a pretty little gazebo. Got a church spire behind the trees there. This is a very pretty little spot here. And this is our very first stop here on my first tour of Jacksonville, so I'll be interested to see what the rest of the city has to hold on the show. Go check it out. Here's a quick voiceover to explore the first stop on our tour of Jacksonville, Biddy and Beau's Coffee. Now, this is actually a coffee chain that originally opened in North Carolina in 2016, but what makes it special is it is a strong advocate for the hiring of individuals with developmental disabilities. So a lot of their employees will have intellectual disabilities or perhaps have Down syndrome, but they do employ them and staff them, and they all are wonderful and talented individuals who will happily take your coffee order, or in our case, even though I don't have it on this video here, we did get a wonderful little muffin that we enjoyed eating. So Biddy and Beau's was a wonderful place, and I didn't want to disrupt the ambiance or make too much noise, so I just filmed this footage and am recording this voiceover currently. And as you can see, they've had a lot of visitors from all over the country, including us from our home in Florida. So if you are in Jacksonville, or you can check out their website, of course, and see if there's another location near you, we definitely recommend checking out Biddy and Beau's, because they do wonderful work in employing these special and talented individuals. Big lion.
Can do a roar.
He's a big boy. Like him. Beautiful blue bridge.
The John T. Alsop Jr. Bridge.
Yeah, that one. And right now we are crossing over the St. Johns River. Yes, there is a river monster. No, I haven't seen it. We're going to do some more river monster exploration tomorrow, though, on Lake 2 of the journey. TIAA Bankfield coming right up behind here. Let's see what we got. We do a quick drive by. You see those white spires in the distance there? That's the Jacksonville Jags Stadium.
We're going to be able to see the Jag right there through the...
Yeah, there we go.
Nice. Where's Tony?
Exactly. We're on the lookout for Tony Con. Hey, Tony!
Tony!
I don't think you can hear us.
Tony!
If you're an AEW wrestling fan, you'll know what we mean.
People chase her around.
Stop the old city cemetery of Jacksonville. Dedicated in 1954. So let's head on inside. Because we're looking for a specific grave. Let's go check it out though. I like this sign over here though. Police patrol, respect the dead. So I always say whenever I do these cemetery tours to respect those departed. So of course I do stand corrected when it was old, and I thought the 1950s wasn't that old. It was actually established back in 1852 with this marker here placed in 1949. So this is indeed a very old cemetery. We're gonna be going out pretty soon because we've had a drought in Florida, and of course the day that we decide to leave town, it starts to get a little thundery in the distance. So let's see if we can accomplish this before the rain starts coming. We have found our destination, the plot of the Nunn family. Here's Nathan and Alice Nunn. I'm sure wonderful people who I unfortunately don't know too much about, but rest in peace, those pair. This is their sister who we came to see, Miss Alice Elizabeth Nunn, who you might know better from her role in film, lots of movies, but especially known to us and other folks who like quirky, spooky movies as Miss Marge from Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Tell them Marge sent you.
That's right. So here, in her family plot, got the old Jacksonville cemetery amidst all this lovely Spanish moss. The final resting place of Marge. And remember, yes indeed, if she picks you up on the side of the road, it's gonna be her ghost. And always remember that Marge sent you. Which she did indeed. To come pay our respects to a legend.
You're an icon.
Yes indeed. Rest in peace, Miss Nunn.
You live on well after your departure.
Be sure and tell him Large Marge sent ya.
Look at the rest of these beautiful monuments out here as well. And actually Amanda brought something to my attention which I didn't even think of in the moment. That of course Alice Nunn's co-star from Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Mr. Paul Rumens, is no longer with us as well. So that is sad to think, but if you do believe in a world thereafter, I'd like to think that they're back together, reunited, and when he got to the afterlife after she did, she gave him a nice big scare upon him walking through those pearly gates. Can you imagine that?
I kind of love that.
It's like, hello, Paul. It's like, oh, Alice. Blah!
And it looked like this.
And then they gave each other a big hug. Yay. Next stop on the Jacksonville tour is the Chamblin Bookmine. I've never been inside here. Or is it pronounced Chamblin? I don't know. But I've heard some good things about it. I'm gonna head inside and take a look. See if they'll let me do any filming inside, but let's check it out. Whoa. Look at this. Wow. This is crazy. It's a labyrinth, oh my goodness. Keeps going. I swear I'm not repeating footage over and over. This is the actual place. This is crazy. Okay. First book we found by our good buddy Joshua Ginsburg, autographed.
It's been signed.
All the way out here in Jacksonville. Right in the Florida history section.
We love it.
Go buy Josh's stuff, he's awesome. This section of books from the old Sunday funnies. Any of you guys ever read any of these comics? Marvin the Baby. Grimm, Mother Goose and Grimm. Heathcliff, wow. I used to read a lot of these in the old Sunday comic strips back in the day. This Simpsons episode guide, I have one of them, but not this one. Where else do they have? I saw some, yeah, there's some Garfield books. Popeye. King of the Hill, yeah. Lots of cool stuff. think I found my section. This is a lot of room. This is crazy. Oh, yeah. I swear this is a completely different section of storage. Just keeps going. Hear the rain. Perfect weather. Curl up with a good book. The only problem is there's so many books to look at. Not necessarily a bad thing though. Okay, time to head out. I'm gonna get the Simpsons book. Let's go to the front counter and get out of here. Awesome. Very cool place. Alright, so Amanda found this book. If you haven't read it, Werewolf's Guide to Life by Rich Duncan and Bob Powers, I do recommend it because I have probably read this book more than any other that I own. It's one of my favorite books out there. I absolutely love it, and I'm glad to see it represented here. I just wanted to point that out. It's such a fun book. Very cool. How could I pass up a place with a title like this? Wonder how cool it's going to be inside. How cool do you think?
Pretty cool.
Very cool? I think very cool. Let's go see. Very welcoming sign to let us inside. Looks like my kind of place. Alright folks, hello again and welcome for another voiceover. This one for the enigmatic shop known as One Cool Shop in Jacksonville. Doing a voiceover here because, as you can see, it's a very, very small shop, and also there's a lot of licensed music in the background that I don't want to get copyright hit over. So, yeah, if you like oddities or strange gifts and goods, make sure to stop by this place because as you can see through this footage, there's a lot of interesting things to see. Strange things that make your weird little heart happy, as they mention on the placard once you enter in. All sorts of creepy dolls and paintings and artwork. I think a lot of it done by the proprietor himself. And again, I didn't want to disrupt anything too much, so I just wanted to do this quick voiceover after the fact and encourage you to check it out if you're interested in odd, quirky, and dark merchandise like this. Very interesting shop. I enjoyed it. Yeah. The abandoned Annie Lytle School, established 1917. Look at that. It's a This place is actually pretty infamous for urban explorers, and it's probably a fairly easy point of access, but whenever I see no trespassing signs, I don't mess with it. Also, we just saw a cop passing by too, so they probably have this place under heavy patrol because it's popular amongst urban explorers. Formerly known as Public School Number 4, this building was erected in 1891, and it closed to the public as a school, I believe, in the 1960s. If I recall, it did play host to some office buildings, or some like office equipment for a little while in the 80s. But around since then, it has been abandoned and pretty much gutted. Kind of see through the windows there a little bit, the interior. And oh, it's a thing of beauty, it really is. But as I said, I'm not in the mood to get arrested for trespassing, and you never know what might be inside. Now, by what's inside, I don't necessarily mean spirits or ghosts, although of course that is a rumor of this this area here, or this building and this property. But I also do mean any dangerous individuals, any poorly maintained flooring or ceiling. Who knows if anything could come crashing down, or if there could be, dangerous individuals who want their peace within this abandoned building and don't want to be discovered or found out. So I'm gonna call it here. The loud freeway over there. But yeah, you can just kind of behold the majesty of this old husk of a shell and respect the remnants that it once was. It's amazing. A quick correction on that previous statement I made regarding Annie Lytle School. I mentioned the date 1891. That was actually the date that the original schoolhouse was built on the grounds. that was raised and rebuilt for the brick facade, the crumbling one that I just showed you, and that was built in 1918. So even though that property's been occupied for over 100 years, 1918 it was the completion of construction for the specific building that we just saw. Still remains, so that it's a very, very fascinating and haunting building. Another abandoned building here. This is Mount Calvary Baptist Church. Probably do a drive-by up the front of it, simply because I will just mention, with all diplomacy, that is not an area that we feel fully safe right now. There's some shady stuff going on to the side off camera, so I want to just get a good shot of the exterior of the building. We'll see what I can do on the front side, and then later on I'll do a little research about the building itself and maybe do like an extra voiceover segment after this or something. See that broken window pane right there? That's kind of cool. Interesting. Beautiful building though, beautiful. And stop at the razor wire. There's a section up ahead that's sunken in as well, but there's still razor wire attached to it. Oh, hi. We have a little visitor, a little resident of the abandoned church. Hi, buddy. How you doing? Another exterior shot of the church. Very cool. See, here's the area, the Preston area here, but again, I'm not going to go up the steps and go inside or anything, so this will be the best we get. Very cool. Yeah, beautiful building. It's a shame. I think there was supposed to be a renovation project for it. At one time that fell through, unfortunately, and now it's just another empty husk. Still beautiful, though. Oh yeah, see, the front door's all padlocked too, so I wouldn't be able to
the glass window forming the cross up there.
Amazing. I've never seen anything like that on a dang parking garage. That is a thing of beauty. Interesting. Here we go. There's a much better view of the Jacksonville Jaguar Stadium than the one we had earlier. Beautiful building. Oh, and I was about to ask, where's Daly's place? There it is. AEW Pro Wrestling Central. There it is.
Tony!
That's so cool. Yep. This is whenever they do their home field shows. That's the arena.
Okay, so this thing wants me to turn right where I can't.
Oh dear.
Okay, that's a...
Well, we found them. This is where we hit that dead end on the construction zone. We made a little loop around to Metropolitan Park to see Mr. Gator. Look at this big boy here. So this guy was from an attraction called Casper's Gatorland in St. Augustine, which closed down back in the 80s. This big guy was relocated here to Jacksonville and preserved. Now, he used to have a cigar right there in his hands. That got lost somewhere, but he still has his very fancy walking cane. He's about 22 feet tall, so he's a big boy. But I'm always appreciative to see pieces of the past preserved from an old roadside attraction that closed down. And Big Gator Boy here, I don't know his specific name, he lives on in its memory. Preserved here forever in Metropolitan Park. Beautiful view of the St. John, and look at that sky. Beautiful golden hour. And welcome back, you fine, wonderful people. Thanks for sticking with us, and I do hope you enjoyed our flyby tour of Jacksonville. This is actually part of our longer road trip that I did a few videos back up to Savannah, Georgia, and then back through Gainesville. So this was a little late in the game uploading. I didn't do them in chronological order, but I do hope you enjoyed because I mainly went city by city. But again, it's a beautiful city, and I hope if you're ever in the closer to northern part of Florida that you'll make sure to check out Jacksonville. Oh, and I mean the northeast portion of Florida, heading up towards the Carolinas and towards Georgia, not the Panhandle. Important distinction. But let's cap off today's video with an awesomely awful joke, something I haven't done in a few videos, so let's check it out. Today's awesomely awful joke is by our friends at Coker Culture, and I also want to make sure to recommend their channel because they do a lot of really fun travel vlogs and some cool family vlogs as well. I hope you'll check them out. But here's the joke. What did Spartacus do when the lion ate his wife? Nothing, because he's glad he ate her. Gladiator? Anyways, kind of a darker one today. I don't know exactly what the wife did to earn that score, but we do love a good pun, even if it involves being mauled by a lion. So, but Coker Culture, thank you for that dark but amusing joke. And I do, of course, again, hope you enjoyed our tour of Jacksonville. We've got a lot more videos to come, a lot more stuff to check out. And just stick with us because we're always happy to take you along with us and so happy to show you the sights of anything that crosses our paths because it's a big, wide, beautiful world. You never know what's over the horizon, so make sure to get out and explore. Until then, I'll see you next time. Bye.